Hello and welcome to Physics Problems One by One.
So here is a problem. As always, read it, maybe once, maybe twice, and then pause the video and try to solve it yourself.
Today's problem is like a little bit of discussion. They ask us about some third formula, and definitely you remember this formula because some ask you to memorize this formula, and I just want to talk about this formula. First, let's talk about first two formulas that for now should be very, very clear. V equal V0 plus AT. This is the first formula that defines movement with a constant acceleration. And of course, it is exactly the same as definition of acceleration. A equal V minus V0 divided V minus V0 divided over T would be A. So this is the first formula. This is exactly the same. Doesn't matter. It's the same physics. It's a different form of the same mathematical equation. And remember, I told you, if you've forgotten, this is the first thing and the only thing you have to remember, because the distance is V0t plus AT squared divided over 2. And remember, I showed you that you can derive this formula if you look under the area of V over T. You define this area is this. In case of constant acceleration, the V goes like a linear, and this is trapezoid, and you define this. And you don't have to remember. It's good if you remember, but if you've forgotten, you can follow this, and this is two formulas that you have to remember. And from this formula, so far, that's all we did, and we were able to solve all these problems. But there is also another problem, another formula, and sometimes, and actually we have derived this formula all over again and again. And this is the case. Look, there are two equations, this, and if we get rid of t, we can receive this formula, take t from here, plug it here, and we will receive formula for d that will not contain t. It will contain v, v0, a, but no t, and this would be distance. And this formula, I can even write it here right away. D equal v squared minus v0 squared divided over 2a. And some require you to memorize this formula. Others like to memorize it. Others cannot memorize it. And as always, it's easy to remember if you use it many times. But it's also easy to derive it. And all I want to do here, I want to repeat the process. And the process is this: V equal V0 plus AT. D equal V0t plus AT squared. Two equations. Let's get rid out of t. We can have AT equals V minus V0, t equals V minus V0 over A, basically the same like here. And now we're plugging this t here. So we have D equal V0, and we write V minus V0 over A. And then we type plus A over 2, and then instead of t, we write V minus V0 squared A squared. Fantastic. We can get rid of this A and this square, and we can continue as D equal V0 V by multiplying here minus V0 squared over A plus, here we have 2A, and this is a formula A minus B squared, so I open bracket right away, and I put this minus 2V V0. And then common denominator, I have to multiply by 2 here, and here is 1, because common denominator is 2a, and this will become 2 v0v minus 2v0 squared, and this would be plus v squared plus v0 squared minus 2v v0. And that's quite good, because this and this are gone. V squared stays, and here we have 1 apple minus 2 apples. And so this becomes v equal 2a, and this becomes v squared minus v0 squared. And this is exactly what it is. So, whenever they have a problem and they give you v and v0 and acceleration and ask you about the distance, you can surely and safely use this formula. But if you don't remember this formula, you can use this, derive this formula, and put the same thing. So it's up to you. If you do this several times, you will remember this formula. It's very different remembering from memorizing. Okay, that's very good, but I want to give you a little bit more about this formula, what it means, and maybe it's another way for you to remember it. So, okay, we know that this is one square minus another. There is a formula in math, and this formula is very simple. It's v minus v0 should be multiplied by v plus v0. Okay. So basically, if you open brackets, you receive this. So far, no physics, just math. But now, let's continue our transformation. D equals, and I want to put v minus v0 divided over a. I put v minus v0 divided over a, and this 2 I put here, and this would be v plus v0. Okay, now v minus v0 from here is the same like time. So d equals time, and this is v plus y0. So let's put the graph, again, the graph of v over t, and this graph is this, and this is v0, and this is the final speed v, and v plus v0, this is average speed. This is average speed for duration of this period of time t. So what we have t multiplied on v average. But isn't that what we should get? We get this distance d. This is average speed over period of time t. T over period of time t, it would be this area under this rectangular. And we obviously see, because this is average straight in between this point and this point, that is exactly the same area of this trapezoid. And we got the distance. So this formula actually is, this is the same, can be easily transformed to the time multiplied by average speed. And average speed is this, and time is this, and if we combine it all together, we get this. So no matter how you dice it and slice it, It's a very simple formula, but feel free to use it. Feel free to use those two. Feel free to use those two and get this. Feel free to use this and get this. It's the way you want, the way is more convenient. If you're able to memorize, memorize. If your teacher wants you to memorize, memorize. If memorization is difficult, for me memorization is very difficult. It's way easier for me to remember the concept and to derive it several times. And when I derive it, I remember it. When I remember it becomes natural. In any case, subscribe, bell, like, write a comment, ask your question, and ask your problem, and I try to solve it. Thank you. Bye.